Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling 10 carefully selected questions that will help you secure grade 9 in duty trigonometry, specifically focused on sine rule and cosine rule. Well, if you are preparing for AQA or Edexcel GCSEs, this session is going to be super valuable, especially because we are covering some of the hardest and the trickiest question types and that are often misunderstood or skipped by the students. Well, we'll go step by step through each question, breaking down when to use sine rule, when to use cosine rule, when to use the simple trigonometric ratios, because that are there also, covering a major portion, and how to handle right angle triangle or non-right angle triangles. Well, these are exam style problems, so if you can solve these, you are absolutely on track for the top grades. Now, make sure to pause the video, try the question yourself, and then check your answer with my solutions. If you get stuck, don't worry, that's exactly why we are doing this together. And if you want me to cover a specific topic next, whether it's vectors, circle theorems, or transformation, just drop in the comment section and I'll make a dedicated video on it. Okay, so just let's begin. And also I'm running the crash course GCSE classes at just £6 per hour, or if you need your siblings or your friend or anyone who needs a class from year 1 to A levels for any subject, just drop us an email at exactacademy@gmail.com. Let's get started. Question number 1, shown is a right angle triangle. Calculate the length BC. I can clearly see it's a right angle triangle. No other angle is given. That means clearly we have to use Pythagoras Theorem. When two sides are given in a right angle triangle, always go for Pythagoras Theorem. That means clearly BC is hypotenuse. So I'll be doing BC squared is equals to AC squared plus AB squared. So BC squared is AC squared, which is 64, and AC is 64, and AB is 225, and finally we'll get 289. So BC will be, we have to root it, so root of 289, which will give you 17. Obviously when you root, you will get both the answers, plus and minus, but because this is a length of a triangle, so it can never be negative, so we are not taking the negative value at all, and it will give you 17 centimeters. Now work out the perimeter. So perimeter is sum of all the sides, that means 17 plus 15 plus 8, that will give you the answer, which is 40. So perimeter is 8 plus 15 plus 17, 40 centimeters. Now it says work out the area of the triangle. We know area of triangle is half times base times height. So base is 15, whereas height is 8. So answer would be half times base times height, which will give you 60 centimeters squared. Now the part D says calculate the value of angle CBA. CBA, that means this angle. And obviously this angle is calculated using trigonometric ratio. If I'm calculating this angle, then clearly the side which is opposite to this angle is called opposite. So this is opposite. The side which is attached to it is called adjacent. And obviously the longest side of the triangle is called hypotenuse. If we want to calculate, we have to see which two sides are given. So here opposite and adjacent are given, and which angle relates opposite and adjacent? It's basically 10. So we know tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. That means if we want to calculate theta, we have to take inverse of opposite over adjacent. That means opposite is 8 and adjacent is 15. So answer would be tan inverse 5 by 18, which is 8 by 15. which is 28.07. That's the answer up to 2 decimal place. So this is basically completed. Moving on to the next question. Given above are the three triangles. Area of triangle ABE is 50 centimeters squared, where the triangle ABE is an isosceles triangle. E is the midpoint of AD and the ratio of BC to CE is 3:5. Find the length of CD. So let me try to figure it out what exactly is given. So area of ABE, that means this one. Area of this is given, that means clearly half times, they all are right angle triangles. So half times AB times AE is equals to 50, which means AB multiplied by AE is 100 centimeters squared. This is the first thing that we have calculated. Now where triangle ABE is an isosceles, ABE, this one is an isosceles. Clearly those two sides, because third one is hypotenuse, which is the bigger one, the largest one, so AB and AE are going to be same without a doubt. So I can say AB, and because AE is also equals to AB, this will also be AB, and AB squared is 100, which means we got each value as 10 and 10 because root of AB is 10 centimeters. So that means these two are 10 centimeters. If these two are 10 centimeters, BE we can easily calculate, will give you 10 root 2. And how? Because I have to apply Pythagoras Theorem. So Pythagoras says 10 squared plus 10 squared is equals to BE squared. So it will be 200, and BE is root of 200, which is 10 root 2 centimeters. We now know this one. What else they are asking you? CD. CD, that means this they are asking. That means one by one we have to find the lengths of each triangle. For this triangle, we are aware of one of the side. Now, it says E is the midpoint of AD. That means if this is 10, this is 10 also, because it's the midpoint. So, midpoint always bisects it. Now, it says BC ratio CE is 3:7. That means if BC is 3x, then CE would be 7x. This is a right triangle, so again I can apply Pythagoras, which is 3x whole squared plus 10 root 2 whole squared is equals to 7x squared. In this triangle, I have applied Pythagoras, whereas CE is hypotenuse. Now this can be, I can solve here, 9x squared plus 200 is equals to 49x squared. Bringing here 200 is equals to 40x squared, and x squared is equals to 5, whereas x is equals to root 5. That means this will become 3√5 and this will become 7√5. We have to calculate CD. This again we have to apply Pythagoras, whereas CD is hypotenuse. So I can say CD squared is equals to 7√5 whole squared plus this bottom one, which is 10 squared. So that means this is going to be 7 squared times 49 times 5 basically. So that will give you 245 plus 100. Answer is 345 CD squared. So on taking root of 345, we'll get the answer as 18.57 centimeters. Now question 3 says a line joining 2 points 5, 2 and negative 7, 3. Work out the length between these 2 points. So I'm just randomly drawing, not as per the graphs, just 5, 2, and it would be negative 7, 3. We have to calculate the distance between them. This one. Obviously, if I go like this and like this, I'll get a straight line. I'm sorry, a right triangle. Like this one. So I can calculate the intersecting points. Intersecting points, that means this one. Because I'm going downwards, only y will change, whereas x will remain exactly the same, obviously. So x will remain as it is, and let me say this be y. When I'm moving horizontally, what will remain same? Obviously y, because we are not moving up and down, it's only we are moving in x-axis. So x-axis will change and y will remain same. That means here y remains same. So if this is 3, this has to be 3. So I can say this be 3. We got our coordinate. Now because this is a right angle triangle, you are moving only in horizontal direction. Nothing is changing apart from it. So how much you have moved in? It's from -7 to 5. Obviously I told you I haven't drawn it as per the graph. So the distance between -7 and 5 is 12 units, obviously. And if you're moving downwards, so upwards, basically 5,3 will give you upwards, so it will be 1 unit. Now I can easily apply. It doesn't matter whether we have located point in which direction, answer will remain same because all are positive. Now we can apply Pythagoras, which will give you answer as 12 squared plus 1, that is root 145. Either you can leave your answer in root form, until unless it's not specifically mentioned that you have to give your answer to 2 decimal place or insert form, you can give your answer in any ways. Question 4 says the diagram shows a right angle triangle, a quarter circle and a semicircle. The area of the semicircle is given by 160 centimeters squared. The area of quarter circle is 258 centimeters squared. Then calculate the length AC. Area of the semicircle is given as 160. This is a semicircle. And we know the formula to calculate area of a circle is pi r squared. So for semicircle, it would be definitely pi r squared over 2. And that's equals to 160. So that means r squared is equals to 160 times 2 over pi. And r is 160 times 2 over pi. Taking root, you will get the value of r. So this value is 10.07 centimeters. Obviously, this is 10.7 the radius, but we want to calculate the length of this whole side. That means it has to be multiplied by 2, which will give you 20.14 centimeter. So we know this is 20.14. Now use this quarter circle. It says the area of the quarter circle is 258. Area of a circle is pi r squared. So quarter would be 1/4. So pi r squared over 4 is 258. So r squared is 258 times 4 over 5. Or r is equals to root of 258 times 4 over pi. This will give you 18.12. Again, I'll be saying that this is what they have calculated radius, but in this case, this is representing radius. So don't multiply by 2 or anything. This will give you 18.12. Now to calculate AC, because it's a right angle triangle, we have to apply Pythagoras. AB squared plus BC squared is equals to AC squared. That means 18.12 whole squared plus 20.14 whole squared is equals to AC squared. So this will give you AC is equals to 27.09 centimeters, and that's your final answer. Moving on to question number 5. In the diagram given above, ACDE is a square. So this is basically a square. And an angle CFE is 35 degrees. CFE, this one, is 35 degrees. And length EF is 4 centimeters. So this is 4. and AF is 15 centimeters. So AF, which is this whole, is 15 centimeters. Then calculate the area of a square BCED. That means clearly we have to calculate this one. We have one angle, we have one side, so it's easy. We can apply trigonometric ratio. If this is the angle given, clearly this one is adjacent and this one is opposite. That we have to calculate. This one is opposite and the one connecting them is 10. So clearly 1035 is opposite, that is CE over adjacent, which is 4. So 1035 times 4 will give you length of CE. So this is equals to 2.8 centimeters. And if this is 2.8 centimeters, we know that the area of a square is length times length. So 28 times 28, it will give you 78.42. Sorry, 2.8 actually. It's 2.8 times 2.8. So answer will be 7.84 centimeters squared. So this is the area of BCDED. Then if a man is climbing along AB with a speed of 16 km per hour, calculate the time taken by the man to climb. So if the speed of AB, speed is equals to distance over time, speed is 60 given, distance we have to calculate. If we can, then time can be easily calculated. So that means we have to calculate distance, we have to calculate the length of BA. We have already calculated the length. If this is 2.8, this one is also 2.8, so this is 2.8 centimeters. Other than that, it's mentioned this is 4 centimeter, this length is 4 centimeter. That means this length is 2.8 because it's a square, and this whole length is equals to 15. That means if I say x, so x plus 2.8 plus 4 is equals to 15, or x is equals to 15 minus 6.8. So finally you'll get answer as 8.2, because we have calculated C, this be 8.2 and this be 2.8. So now we can easily calculate using Pythagoras. So I can say AB squared is equals to 2.8 whole squared plus 8.2 whole squared. This is equals to 75.08. And now we have to take the root of 75.08, which is 8.66. So AB is 8.66 centimeters. Now we have calculated the distance, we have the speed, we have to take the time. So calculating time would be distance over speed. Distance is 8.66 and speed is given as 60 kilometers per hour. That means I have to convert it into kilometers. So time is equals to we can, okay, so better is because 60 kilometer per hour, so we can convert it into kilometers. So 8.66, and we know there are in total 1000 centimeters, so dividing by 1000, and speed is 60. Now see this one. The part C says that when a man is standing at A and wants to see the point B, calculate the angle of elevation, which means that angle its eyes is making while watching B with respect to the horizontal. That means clearly this angle they are talking about. So this angle, clearly I can apply any trigonometric function. Here we have all the three sides, so like any trigonometric function will work. I'm going for 10. So this was 2.8 and this was 8.2. So clearly this is opposite, this is adjacent. So I'm going to apply tan theta. So tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So that means theta is going to be tan inverse opposite over adjacent, and this will give me 18.85 degrees. So that's your angle of elevation. Now, this is question number 6. It says a car is approaching a building with a height of 40 meters. So, this is a car and it's approaching a building of 40-meter height. This is 40-meter height and this is a building. The angle of elevation of a car to the top of the building is 30 degrees, which means they are saying that this angle, the angle this car is making when they're looking up at the top of the building is 30 degrees. Calculate the distance between car and the building and give your answer in surd form. It's specifically mentioned its surd form. That means this is a non-calculator question. Obviously, in your main paper, you have that non-calculator and calculator paper. But these are mixed questions. These are mixed. You will find some calculator questions and non-calculator questions. So I'm specifically telling you that this part is clearly non-calculator because it says give your answer in a surd form. So we have to calculate distance between the car and the building, which is this distance. And clearly we have to use, if this is the angle, so this is going to be adjacent and this is going to be opposite, which clearly indicates that I have to pick tan theta. So tan theta, that means tan 30 degrees is equals to opposite over adjacent, and adjacent is basically the distance between the car and the building. So tan 30 is 1 over root 3. These are the exact trigonometric ratios. If you don't know the values of exact trigonometry, let me explain you. I'm drawing a table here. See. And it's very easy. You don't have to worry too much about these values. If you know, and this is pretty helpful for you in trigonometric graphs as well, see this one. This is a graph and you know that for sine, it always starts from 0 and it goes like this. This is the one cycle of a sine theta. Starting from 0, reaches maximum at 90 degrees, which is 1. So the maximum value of sine 90 is 1. So let me write this is 90 and this is 1. Then it comes back to 0 at 180. Reaches to its minimum value at 270, which is -1, and then again comes back to 360 degrees and the value of y is 0. And you can clearly see that the minimum value and the maximum value, minimum is -1 and maximum is 1. So sine theta cannot take any greater value. So if I say sine theta is equals to -2 or 4, this is impossible entirely. So now it's very easy. Just looking at the graph, you can find some values. I'm starting with, this is sine 0, 30, 45, 60, 90, 180, 270 and 360. So 360 is basically the same value which was in 0. So sine 0 is 0. Clearly the curve started at 0 and reaches at maximum at 90. That means +1. Then again reaches to 180, which is 0, and reaches to 270 at -1. So at least just by the graph I'm able to write down the values. Now look out the cos curve. So cos curve starts from 1 like this. This is the one cycle of a cos. Started with 1 at 0 and at 90 it reaches to its value, which is the lower value, 0. Then at 180 it reaches to its minimum value, which is -1. So even for cos, the maximum value is +1 and the minimum value is -1. From 180 it reaches to 270. That means it attains 0 value, and again at 360 it's 1. So when it completes its one cycle, so whatever be the value at 0, the same you will find at 360. So for cos 0 is clearly it's 1 because it started from 1. Then cos 90 is 0. Cos 180 you can clearly see here taken up the least value, which is -1, and cos 270 is 0. Now this was from the graph. At least there are so many values that we are able to do, or we are able to know just by looking at the graph. Now these three values you have to learn. Sine 30 is half, Sine 45 is 1 over root 2 and sine 60 is root 3 over 2. So these three values you have to learn. Only these three values. Now, only look out this one. You have to move in reverse order. That means from 1, it was 1 here. So that means root 3 over 2 would be here. You can clearly see if you go in a reverse order in sine theta, you'll get the cos theta. That means root 3 over 2 will be here. 1 over root 2 will be here. Half will be here and 0. You don't have to learn it, right? You just learned the three values of sine theta and easily got the cos theta. Now there is a relationship between the cos theta and sine theta tan theta, which is tan theta is equals to sine theta over cos theta. You just have to keep in mind that when you divide sine and cos, you'll get tan theta. This relationship is very important learning the values, because if I want to calculate sine tan 0, it would be sine 0 over cos 0. That means tan 0 will be sine 0 divided by cos 0. 0 divided by 1 is 0. If I want to calculate tan 30, it would be sine 30 over cos 30, which is half divided by root 3 over 2, which is 1 over root 3. Then tan 45 is sine 45 over cos 45, which is 1. Clearly, they both have the same value. Dividing both of them, we'll get 1. Tan 60 is sine 60 over cos 60, which is root 3. And this is 1 divided by 0 is undefined. Then this one is 0, and again, this is undefined. And see, just by obviously graph, you have to know about sine and cos curve. So the curve and these three values will help you in finding all the values of these ratios. Okay, now coming back to what we were doing. So the question was to calculate the distance between the building and the car, which we have calculated from tan 30 degrees, which is opposite over adjacent. And here it would be 40 over A. And finally A, which is 40 root 3. So 40 root 3 meters is the distance between car and the building. Now, due to structure failure, it has now tilted 30 degrees away from its original position. Now calculate the straight line distance between the top of the tilted building and the car. And it says in 2 decimal place, you answer. That means this is a calculator question. See, now it says it was erect at 90 degrees. So we have applied the trigonometric ratios. Now it is said that it has tilted away from its original position, which means this one. Now the tilt is this. The building has tilted now. Car is still there with a distance of, you can say 40 root 3. Building's distance is still same, 40. And we have to calculate this distance. See, it says calculate the straight line distance between the top of the building and the car. So this distance we have to calculate. And also previously it was 90 degrees and now it has tilted 30 degrees away from that position. That means this whole angle is 90 plus 30, that is 120 degrees. It's very easy to know. We have to calculate third side. We already have 2 sides and angle. So clearly when you have 3 sides and 1 angle, like the combination of 3 sides and 1 angle, always go for cosine rule. So I'm just going for cosine rule. Let's say this be x. So it would be x squared is equals to, why I have started from x squared? Because always start from that side whose angle is given. 120 angle, the opposite side of 120 angle is x. So that's why I have started with x. So x squared is equals to 40 squared plus 40 root 3 squared minus 2 times 40 root 3 times cos of 120 degrees. Now if you're not aware of cosine rule at all, let me just explain you. Cosine rule says, this is a cosine rule, this is a triangle. Cosine and sine rules are applicable when your triangle is not a right triangle. This is 3 sides x, y, z, and opposite angle of x is capital X, y is capital Y, and z is capital Z. If you have the combination of three sides and one angle, so always start with, suppose this x is given to us. So I'll start with the side which is opposite to x, which is small x. So x squared is equals to sum of squares of other two sides, which is y squared plus z squared minus 2 times same two sides multiplied by cos of this angle which is given, that is cos of angle x. Similarly, if y angle is given, then I'll start with the opposite side of angle y, which is small y. So y squared is equals to x squared plus y squared minus 2xy cos of angle z. I have to write z here. Cos of angle y. And similarly, if you have given z, so same, z square is equals to x squared plus y squared minus 2xy cos of angle z. So this is cosine rule, and this is the application which I'm doing so that you can clearly see that I have applied, because cos 120 is given. Now on solving, I'll get x squared is equals to, this is 9141.28 and 9171.28, and on taking root you'll get answer as 95.76. that means up to two decimal place it would be 95.77 meters. So we have done till question number 6, and from 7 we'll be doing in the next video. Till then, just practice these questions, and if you need live classes, you can always mail us at exacadmin@gmail.com. Bye everyone, take care.